stage. We've got two shift rosters, so we do a 24-hour shift, and we do that day on, day off, and we do it 3 times and we get 4 days off. The paramedics, they do a day shift and a night shift, so they do day, night, and then they get 4 days off themselves. But we run it as is here, so we've got the pilot on, the air crewman and the paramedic. Configuration in the aircraft, guys, so what will happen is the pilot sits on the forward right of the aircraft. He's obviously in charge of flying the aircraft, the whole overall safety of the aircraft. He looks after the weather, all that type of stuff, if we can get somewhere, if we can't get somewhere, and all that type of gear. The air crewman usually sits on the left, so he'll sit on the left at the front for the majority of the flight going out, especially to the location. He's in charge of all the navigating, all the comms with you guys on the ground, having a chat with you about the rescue operation or the MVA and trying to organise landing zones. He'll operate the weather radar from the front as well if it's really shitty weather. And then he'll jump in back and assist the paramedic and also does all the winching and all that type of stuff. The paramedic sits in the back on the right hand side here. He's obviously in charge of patient welfare, the medical aspect of it all, and retrieving the patient and all that type of gear. Okay. So what will happen is we're all sitting here doing our normal thing now. All the bells will go off in the hangar, and then what will happen is the paramedic take the phone call. He speaks to the comm centre at Belmont through the ambulance, and he takes the call and gets all the details of the jobs. Have you gone through all this with them, Dave?
You can feel free.
Yeah. So then,
I have kind of, yeah.
So then Dave will go in, or the pilot will go into the ops room, which is the room that you guys have just been in. He starts looking at the weather, the location. He gets on the computer and gets a lat and long of the location. If we usually get a crossroad initially, and we get a lat and long from that. And while he's doing that, the air crewman will come out and get the machine out and get it ready for whatever we're going to do. So if it's a rescue job over water, he'll get life rafts and all that type of stuff and gear all that up. And once everyone's done their bits and pieces, we all meet at the aircraft, and then we're airborne. Now, we're contractually required to be airborne within 15 minutes of a job coming through, and we usually do it in probably about 8 minutes, roundabouts on average. You know, so if we've got other planning stuff involved, like the weather's pretty bad and stuff like that, it can take a bit longer sometimes. If we've got to go a bit further, like to Kalgoorlie, like we were talking about before, obviously there's a lot of planning involved in that, so it could take a little bit longer as well. Yep.
Sorry to butt in.
That's right.
Once you all meet at the hill and you're ready to go, when you start talking to air traffic, has there ever been kind of like big delays in getting up, or? Listen,
the air traffic here is really good with us. We've got classifications for, especially like what you guys run on the road with. I mean, you guys have only your priority 1s, but like on the ambulances, you have your priority 1s and your priority 2s and stuff. That's essentially what we have here for air traffic stuff. So we've got a classification called Med 1. And that's kind of gives us priority to get out of the airspace and stuff.
Now called Medivac. It was Med 1.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, yeah. So Medivac, and then we've got another priority, which is essentially our priority 2, which is a hospital. Hospital, is it now?
Yeah, it is. And our call sign is appended with, Rescue65 Medivac, Janacot 4, wherever. And they're, oh right. So they will, in fact, they're legally bound then to hold up aircraft to get this aircraft out and get it airborne. And in fact, they're legally bound to hold up jumbo jets coming in at Perth to keep us going direct to the hospital. But they generally ask us if we can divert, we're coming. And sometimes I don't mind diverting a little bit left or right to facilitate their